Hello everyone. Today I want to compare GPT-5.1 and the newly released GPT-5.2 and explain why that difference matters right now. Imagine you have two co-workers. One is fast, friendly, and usually gets the job done. The other is slower and more expensive, but when the work is messy and high stakes, it's the one you trust to finish correctly. That's 5.1 versus 5.2. So what changed? 5.1 was a course correction. After 5.0 felt stiff and error-prone, 5.1 focused on usability, better instruction following, and smarter choices about when to answer fast versus when to think. 5.2 is a wartime release, meaning it was shipped fast under competitive pressure. It's built to win on hard reasoning, improve real coding outcomes, and make tool-using agents more reliable, even if it runs slower and costs more. One caveat. It may not be the single best all-around coding model. Think of it as best for certain kinds of work. Here's the big practical feature. With 5.2, you can buy more thinking. Modern AI isn't just smart or not smart. It's also, how much compute are you willing to spend per question? In ChatGPT, 5.1 introduced modes like instant and thinking. 5.2 keeps that and adds a new gear, xhigh. Meaning, don't just answer, think harder, spend more compute. Like doing scratch work on a notepad before giving the final answer. Now, context. A big reason 5.2 can feel steadier on large tasks. The context window is how much the model can keep in mind at once. Both are described as having roughly a 400,000 token context window. But the claim is 5.2 holds up better near the limit. It loses the plot less often. Output is huge too, up to 128,000 tokens in a single response. That's long reports in one go, though you still want human review. Now, coding, where the difference becomes concrete. On real-world coding tasks, success rates move from about 51% to 56%. On stricter end-to-end checks, it goes from about 76% to 80%. And independent tracking shows a similar jump. Roughly 67% up to about 75%. The takeaway is simple. More fixes completed end-to-end and fewer almost works answers. A few points might sound small until you picture a real bug backlog. Those points can mean more tickets truly closed with less human rescue. And the feel matches. 5.2 is less likely to hand-wave, the rest is similar. It's more willing to rewrite the module, connect the wiring, and finish the job. The trade-off is speed. On small questions, 5.1 can feel snappier. But math and hard reasoning is where 5.2 really separates. On contest-style math, it goes from about 94% to 100%. On hard, unfamiliar reasoning tasks, it roughly triples, from about 18% to about 53%. And on competitive programming-style reasoning, it jumps from about 22% to about 55%. The gains aren't just knowing more facts. They're concentrated in multi-step reasoning, figuring things out from scratch. Now, agents and tool use. We're moving from a smart chatbot to a reliable operator. On end-to-end tool tasks, like working in a terminal, performance goes from about 48% to about 64%. In plain English, 5.1 can reason. 5.2 can reason and act more reliably. Now we have to talk about the price of that reliability. 5.1, around $10 per 1 million output tokens. 5.2, instant and thinking, around $14. 5.2 Pro, around $168, about 16 times 5.1. So Pro isn't for casual chat. It's for rare, high-stakes work, contracts, patents, big architecture decisions, where being wrong costs more than being slow. So here's the decision rule. Use 5.1 for everyday drafting and routine work. Use 5.2 when correctness is expensive, when wrong answers waste hours or money. Use it for tool-heavy agents and for math or science-dense problems where the gap is clearest. And one final note. In thinking mode, 5.2 reportedly hallucinates about 38% less than 5.1. The frontier isn't, can the model answer, anymore. It's, how sure are you it's right when it actually matters? Thank you for watching. For more AI topics explained simply, please subscribe.